In this video, we'll discuss what getting sick during a polyphasic adaptation entails, and we'll also talk about what you should do if you get sick during your adaptation, so stay tuned. Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Crimson Flower and I'm one of the main authors of Polyphasic.net, the community recommended resource for polyphasic sleepers. So let me start off by saying that getting sick with a temporary disease during adaptations like a cold or a fever is a totally normal reaction. If this happens, you should ensure that you're switching to a recovery schedule so that your body will be getting all the sleep it needs. See, it's important that you take a break here because when you're sick, your SWS need is going to be significantly increased because it helps the body fight off the disease. This means that SWS is going to be inserted into several sleep cycles during the night, and if you skip out on sleep here, you're most likely going to be missing out on slow wave sleep, which is going to impair your recovery a bit. See, more slow wave sleep boosts your immune system's function, so it's important that you allow your body to do its thing, you know. If you skip out on sleep, you skip out on slow wave sleep, and this hinders the body's recovery, which can both prolong the sickness and cause secondary health problems. In case you missed it, we actually made a video on the concept of recovery and what to do exactly. So if you haven't watched it, please do so after you watch this video. The link to it will be in the description. So now we've established that if you fall sick and continue with your adaptation, you're risking your health quite significantly. For this reason, it's strongly advised that whenever you fall sick during adaptation, you switch to a schedule which would allow for a greater amount of slow wave sleep to be had. Traditionally, this would entail dropping back to a monophasic schedule until the illness is dealt with, or adding extra cycles in SWS heavy course at the favorable times for this to happen on an existing sleep schedule, you know, by adding more sleep blocks or prolonging a sleep block that's already there. It's also possible to extend existing naps or course with more sleep to allow for this slow wave sleep boost to be gained still. You can stick to your schedule's rhythm this way and just add sleep blocks, or prolong the sleep blocks that you already have because it's going to allow for more SWS. Make sure that you get an adequate amount of rest when you're sick, and try to keep the schedule rhythm intact if you want. But the main purpose here is still to get more SWS, so if you... an option here to do is to wake naturally when you feel like it and go to sleep at the right times, you know. If you're on segmented, for example, you can just keep a gap between two sleeps and sleep as much as you want, or sleep with an alarm for the first core and then sleep the second core as long as you want, just to ensure that you get enough slow wave sleep, okay? Okay, so this might not be good news for you. What I'm saying is if you get sick, you need to abort all the progress you've done or gained thus far. Everything needs to be endured again from the scratch. But that's the harsh reality. You need to think of polyphasic sleeping as a long-term investment rather than a short-term one. Okay, but say you are already adapted to a polyphasic schedule and fall sick. How do you deal with that then? Well, let me start off by saying that if you fall sick after a successful adaptation, it might not be the end of your polyphasic journey. Okay, this is really interesting. See, when you get sick, your body does a really good job at increasing the amount of slow wave sleep you have while still keeping the same amount of repartitioning or the same light sleep percentage as before. That's the key here. It's going to remain on a very similar level, and that's what we're going to make use of in this case if you fall sick after you've adapted. So if you fall sick, the best course of action would be to extend the course and naps that you have with full cycles. But here's where I want you to pay close attention. preferably by using an EEG. When you notice that your light sleep percentage is beginning to increase again, it's signaling to the body that it's about done with the sickness. This way, you'll have hopefully salvaged most of your repartitioning and will not have to redo the adaptation from scratch if you return to the same schedule as before, okay? You might be feeling suboptimal for some time to come, you know, a few days, a few weeks, but it's not going to be a complete reset. So you're still going to be able to work on that pre-existing repartitioning to help yourself. Though I want to point out that this relies on the sickness not lasting a very long time. So if you're sick for several weeks, your schedule will most likely be unentrained again. Anyways, when you fall sick on an adapted schedule, immediately start tracking the specifics of how you feel and how long you sleep. And when you're feeling better, return to the original schedule and power through the reduced alertness time. Okay, pay close attention to how you're feeling and return to the schedule as soon as you can, but not too soon. This is going to allow you to salvage your adaptation and you're not going to have to go through the whole process again. Great, so now you know what to do when you fall sick during a polyphasic adaptation. If it's during the adaptation, abort the schedule and do a full recovery. And if you've adapted, try to salvage what you can and stay on the same rhythm by increasing the total sleep time and pay close attention to how you're feeling so that you're going to be able to reduce the total sleep time again the moment when you need it. In the next video, we're going to be talking about what to do when you keep falling sick over and over again each adaptation and how to combat this. So if it sounds like something that you'd be interested in watching, please subscribe so you don't miss when we release that video. Anyways, I suggest you comment below if you have any questions regarding what to do when you fall sick during an adaptation. If it's something that was left out in the video that wasn't answered by watching this. Also, please share if you have any experience of falling sick during a polyphasic adaptation and what you did in order to combat it. Maybe you powered through a few days of a fake cold, maybe you went on a recovery phase instead to ensure that you've recovered all your sleep deprivation and ensured a boost to your immune system. You know, whatever it is, tell us in the comments. Okay, I'll be seeing you in the future video. Nap well, people!